The Battle of Braddock Down. The Battle of Braddock Down by Ellen Castello. The 17th century struggle between the king and parliament was the English Civil War. And a bunch of Cornish royalists, a bunch of corny ass royalists, a bunch of fascist royalist fucks under the command of Mr. Ralph Hopton. Mr. Ralph Hopton charged the ranks of parliamentarians led by Colonel Ruthven. Colonel. That is not Colonel. More of a skirmish than a battle, perhaps. Ruthven's troops simply took flight with just 200 parliamentarians killed, more than 1,300 captured. Cornwall was firmly back under Royalist control. Oh, shit. So we're going to have to learn. We have to learn from this. This was a loss for the parliamentarians. They say that the Royalists and the parliamentarians are both belligerents. What could the parliamentarians have done to have won? January 19th, 1643. Braddock Down near Liskeard, Cornwall. Well, first of all, Royalists have 5,000 people. Parliamentarians have 4,000. So there's one mistake. If you're going to try to win a battle, you're going to have as equal as many people or more. The Royalists had 1,000 more people. They had 5,000 to 4. So they had more. Royalists negligible. Parliamentarians around 200 with circa 1,300 captured. So there was 200 parliamentarians killed. It wasn't that bloody of a battle. I mean, considering, right? You had 9,000 soldiers. 200 had died. They said most of them were parliamentarians. The Royalists are negligible. So, okay, what, 20? And why would that be negligible? Because they're pretending like, and then none of ours, somebody got killed on your side. The commanders were the Earl of Newcastle versus Thomas Fairfax. Now, you got to watch out for that Thomas Fairfax because he's essentially going to be a fucking Benedict Arnold for the English Civil War. But Thomas Fairfax, he's the number one. And the number two guy in battle is Oliver Cromwell. So thank goodness for Thomas Fairfax and Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell is going to be better at parliamentarian, better at politics. And he also really hates the fucking king. So Oliver Cromwell is eventually going to take over. Thomas Fairfax is going to not participate in the end of the Civil War. And then he's going to help bring back the fucking monarchy. So, yeah, watch out for that Thomas Fairfax. But while he's in battle, right, Benedict Arnold was an American for 2 years. So he probably, won a couple battles for us. So the American Benedict Arnold's fucking A, right? Fucking awesome. And I think a bunch of Americans kind of fucked him over. But I don't know what would you do. You don't fucking go to the enemy. That's just go back to your farm, right? What? You're not going to make me the damn general? Well, I'm going straight to motherfucking Kim Jong-un. That's why we didn't give it to you, because you're a turncoat mother. The 17th century. More of a skirmish, huh? Oh, just 200 parliamentarians killed. So, it is small comparably, but when you think about every fucking life, 200 parliamentarians were killed. That one, freak job. I think they're both guilty now. Andrew Tate is guilty as shit. You can have a sex cam business. That's okay. If you run it fucking ethically. In fact, maybe somebody should fill the void. He was running a sex cam business, but he was trying to do this pimp thing, and then he was all about control, and it's fraud. You can't have coercion, you can't have force, and you can't have fraud. More of a skirmish than a battle, perhaps. Ruthven's troops simply took flight with just 200 parliamentarians killed. Cornwall was firmly back under Royalist control, so this was a loss. This was a major loss. Let's see if we can find anything else on Battle of Braddock Down. So it's January 19th, 1643. 1643, January 19th. January 19th of January. The Cornish. What do we keep talking about the Cornish? This corny ass fucking Cornish thing. We got a couple things. We're going to check out the Cornwall Heritage Trust. Cornish, is that what Cornish is? From Cornwall? Corn blossom. Princess Cornblanche. The Cornish people, or Cornish, it's Old English, Cerno-Wyon. They're an ethnic group native to or associated with Cornwall, a recognized national minority in the United Kingdom. No shit. What do they fucking look like? They trace their roots to the ancient Britons who inhabited southern and Great Britain before the Roman conquest. Okay, so the Cornish people are like fucking native British people, like native British people. Cornish, not, what is this? Some kind of pocket, Cornish, that's a hot pocket. Cornish pastries are just hot pockets. So they stole that from the Cornishians. What am I typing in here? People, Cornish people. What do these people look like? Getting a sense of Caucasian. Let's see, seeming Caucasian. Everywhere I look, Caucasians to the left, Caucasians to the right, Caucasians over there, Caucasians over here. Caucasia. I need to solve racism. It's a social construction, right? It's a social construction. And until you could say that this is the same color as my goddamn skin, you don't see a difference in color? At the very least, call me off-white, okay? I prefer rainbow bright, pink, peach. Be accurate, motherfucker. I want accuracy. That's what I want. Fucking Caucasian. Oh, he's white. No, you're not. Do you know even... I mean, if you're colorblind, then we have different issues, and, I'll allow it. But if you can see colors... Oh, I love the blue, the white sky. Is everything white? The white sun, white sky, white grass, white every fucking thing. White every goddamn thing. Martin Luther King Jr. used to say, white people, white. I don't, he would not like that, but white. Okay, I can't. At the start of white. White people. At the start of 1643, the Royalist position in Cornwall was threatened by the advance from Devon of two parliamentary armies under the Henry Grey, 1st Earl of Stamford, and Colonel Ruthven. Sir Ralph Hopton commanded Cornish Royalists. The most charismatic leader was Sir Beville Grenville of Stowe. He decided to strike at Ruthven before he could join forces with Stamford. He was late, so he's like, I'll just stop over here. Hopton found the parliamentarians deployed on Braddock Down near Beaucarnock, midway between Lostwithiel and Liskeard on January 19th, 1643. So there's three. If you're going to invade, like let's say you're going to invade a town, right? So the Dresden. If you're going to attack a town, there's the transportation to the town, and then there's the sitting outside the town, and then there's the actual attack. In some ways, you probably could try to cut out that middle part, but you want to all attack all at once because that's how you kind of just sort of shut the whole fucking thing down with, hopefully, with as least amount of casualties possible. If you start trickling one or two in, they'll know something's up, and they'll have reinforcements by the time all your people get there. But I don't know if that's possible. Can you have everybody show up? They do those, what do they call that? Those, flash mobs. Those flash mobs are pretty fucking cool, to be honest with you. Those flash mobs are pretty fucking cool. Hopton launched his troops in a furious charge which swept all before it. Ruthven's men fired barely a single volley at the advancing Royalists. Between 1,250 to 1,500 parliamentarians were captured. So, okay, there's only 200 killed. Only 200. That's a lot of people, right? The Idaho killer killed 4. Here's 200 killed. War standards, it's like, oh, that's not that much, but it's a lot of fucking people. 1,500 parliamentarians captured together with their baggage train and ammunition. We're going to take the baggage train in the Battle of Nantwich. The Battle of Nantwich, we're going to get a baggage train. So we get a baggage train back. We also did something else on Nantwich. We got a couple officers. We got a baggage train. We got some artillery pieces. So they took ammunition. We were actually given guns, major artillery pieces. So big guns, cannons. They just got some bullets. The Battle of Braddock Down rejuvenated the Cornish army, confined their faith in Hopton's leadership. The battlefield landscape remains to this day dominated by the opposing slopes of Braddock Down. Although it was later drained and divided into smaller fields, it's easy to imagine the grassy downland over which the battle was fought. So, all right. I don't know if I like these Cornish sons of bitches, these corny motherfuckers. Just gonna randomly, blindly, just back the goddamn shit fucking king, the fucking shit king. Just gonna randomly, blindly back the shit fucking king. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Do we want to type in some more, another battle of... Yeah, there was a Wikipedia page, wasn't there? Battle of what? Oh, no. Something down. Roundway down? No. Mars down more? That doesn't even say down in it. Braddock down. Braddock. There's Braddock's defeat. Braddock's defeat was an Englishman who died in America. Battle of Braddock Down. Alright, let's see what old Wikipedia has to say. January 19th, 1643. Everybody seems to agree on the date. Jesus Christ was born on January 19th, 1643. Fought on an open ground in Cornwall. It's the first English Civil War. You had two English Civil Wars. They're kind of like back to back, right? The first one was from 1642 to 1646. Forms part of the 1639 to 1653 Wars of the Three Kingdoms. There's the Bishops' Wars, Irish Confederate Wars, the Second English War, which was February to August 1648. So the Second English War only lasted for a year. And then you got the Anglo-Scottish War, 1650 to 52, and the 1649 to 53 Cromwellian conquest of Ireland. So about 20% of all adult males in England and Wales served in the military between 39 and 53. 4% of the total population died from war-related causes. It compares to a figure of 2.23% for World War I, which illustrates the impact of the conflict on society in general and the bitterness it engendered. Parliamentary victory. Parliamentarians won the First English War. Who won the Second English War? We won the First English War. We won the Second English War. Man, civil wars are just, they're just like purifying. They're just like good for everybody. I'd fight a civil war over the Constitution. I'd write a civil war over the three branches of government and the Bill of Rights, the rule of law. Let's see, elections, three branches, Constitution, Bill of Rights, rule of law, federalism. These are all checks on tyranny. These are all checks on tyranny. So why don't you get with it? Why don't you get with it? An apparently easy victory for the Royalists under Sir Ralph Hopton secured Cornwall for King Charles. Confirmed Hopton's reputation as a commander. He also gained respect for the mercy shown to his foe. Okay, he did capture 1,500. But that's the thing, when you surrender, you really do give yourself up to the person. They can, I guess, you're just a peaceful prisoner until they get crazy, and then, but they could just make up stuff, just kind of push you around. The precise location of the battlefield's a matter of dispute, but English Heritage thinks it's a parkland in Boconnock. Do we want to read the prelude? It's only like 5 paragraphs. 1404. Let's see. Hopton attempted to march into Devon from Cornwall, prevented doing so. Plymouth, Earl of Stamford, William Ruthven retreated to Bodmin Moor. January 17th, was able to replenish his food and ammunition stores from 3 parliamentarian ships that sought refuge from a storm at Falmouth and were captured. Damn. Ralph Hopton's Royalist forces had been camped the night of 1819 January at Boconnock. On breaking camp, their dragoon vanguard encountered parliamentarian cavalry to the east. Discovered Ruthven's army deployed on Braddock Down. Ruthven had been unwilling to wait for reinforcements sent by Stamford to arrive and faced The battle. Ruthven had more cavalry, but Hopton had more infantry and also 2 light cannons. These he kept concealed during the first 2 hours of the battle, which was largely a long-range musket duel. After deciding to attack, Hopton ordered his Cornish foot under Sir Bevil Greenville to charge. The defending parliamentarians, drawn from nearly raised and inexperienced forces, fired just 1 volley at the Cornish, causing 2 casualties, and then turned and fled. Damn! They were not ready. So get ready. Have people that's actually down for the cause. It sucks because you could always pay one half the poor people to attack the other half. So the king's men, right, he's getting paid. Those fucking military guys, they get give him a couple bucks, right? Long-range musket duel. It seemed like they held, their own with the long-range musket duel, but Ruthven had cavalry. So it only made sense for cavalry to attack upon infantry. They had men and horses, and they just had men and 2 light cannons. Aftermath, the defeated parliamentarians were pursued into Liskeard, where over 1,200 were captured. In all, 1,500 parliamentarians were captured and a further 200 killed with few losses on the Royalist side. Hopton drove another band of survivors. People died for your freedoms, where they had fled after the battle. A cross from land livery was made into the upper section of the monument on Druid's Hill, St. Winnow. It was bought from land livery 1846. This monument commemorates the loss of life in the Battle of Braddock Down.